day 1618. 1618 days since Richard was brutally murdered, premeditatedly murdered on Fort Bliss. Make sure that I'm on. Looks like I'm on now. Okay. Make sure that I'm on. Okay, so we're burning the midnight oil. Very busy time. First, I want to say Merry Christmas. We're in the Christmas tide. It's a tide, and it just began on the 25th, and it's really a glorious, magnificent time. And so, don't quit celebrating yet. We still have until Epiphany to enjoy this beautiful season. Keep up your lights outside and invite family over and enjoy this beautiful miracle that is just, when you think about it, we, especially in our case, just the scriptures. Let me just share. Today, let's see. Today is beautiful. I don't know if you can see it. Oh yeah, there it is. The angel telling Joseph to leave. That was on our bulletin. And this is the Old Testament reading for today. It's Isaiah 9, 2-7. The people that walked in darkness have sent a great light. The people that walked in darkness have seen a great light. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them hath the light shined. Thou hast multiplied the nation, and not increased the joy before thee according to the joy in the harvest, and as men rejoice when they divide the spoil. For thou hast broken the yoke of his burden, and the staff of his shoulder, the rod of his oppressor, as in the day of Midian. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end, upon the throne of David, and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this. That was just one reading from today. That's the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. So when you hear and experience Christmas, and you know this, it just, the shivers from all the energy coming from the truth inspires to stand up for his government coming. You just don't have the right words. You just stand, and you're just fearless. And during these last few days, or during these last few years, when our son was standing up to help children and reporting it, becoming a whistleblower, becoming the Fort Bliss whistleblower to help the children. Really, that's the bottom line of all of this. If you look at the weapons trafficking or the narcotics trafficking or all the fraud, um, it all, of course, the child trafficking and the child porn, um, especially when you look at the Hart family. And the Hart family is absolutely engaged in doing children harm. And so it is no surprise that the prime suspects of those that would bully Richard, then silence Richard, then murder Richard, the prime suspects of those that would do such a thing to such crime to someone that was trying to help children, trying to be the distinguished honor graduate soldier that he was, right? Richard, absolutely a hero. And that would, who would do that? It would be those that are, like the Hart family. They're the prime suspects. I mean, you have Leilani Hart at the very same time as the murder of Richard, confessing that her family, the Hart family, is in possession of child porn. That means videos of the worst types of crimes against children and videotaping it, which is child torture, while she is admitting that a 7-year-old was being abused in the very worst way in her master bedroom by multiple members of her household, her family, while they're in possession of these illegal child videos, child torture videos. And that one of her members was in uniform, at that time. Not only that, purchasing weapons illegally and engaged in the worst type of sexual actions with each other. Incestual. That's not me saying that. That's Leilani Hart talking about her family. And all the while, they have an LLC called Hart Childcare. And it is no surprise that those that would want to hurt Richard, who was standing up against those very acts, are the ones that are engaged in those very acts. And evidence, witness testimony have now made the Hart family murder case. That's it. And the cover up, those that are engaged in covering this up, because you have to remember, what did they do to Richard? They bullied him. And these, if a family is engaged in this kind of activity and more, because we still have Nadal Baim right? And Bradford Bugado. But if the Hart family is engaged in this kind of criminal activity, ongoing, not for years, but since before Richard was even born, you're talking about a long time. And the arrests, the long criminal history. Do you know that Bob Moore is in possession of Leilani Hart's sworn, that means notarized, sworn affidavit with all of this information, and he keeps that from the public? We don't. Do you know that Bob Moore knows that we have the audio recordings? We release the transcripts of the audio recordings that confirm the absolutely criminal interference into the Walmart mass shooting and the distribution of the Walmart Victims Fund, the Walmart mass shooting victims fund. That was, look, it was over $12 million. And they're, that needs to be investigated. And it was being investigated. And there was interference in that investigation. And there was this total criminal interference that is just stacks of papers in the Walmart mass shooting case itself. And Richard was connecting. We have confirmed that his unit is connected to the Walmart mass shooting case. And Bob Moore has that. But he is absolutely discredited. You know where he gets his sources? He gets it from the bottom of the barrel. He gets it from convicted criminals, from unreliable sources. He gets it from the Hart family. I mean, he and Angela Kachurga work together, right? Angela Kachurga is married to what is his name, Conchando, and might not have that right, but for Dallas Morning News, and he interviewed Texas Hart, and then now, Bob Moore is using Leilani Hart and Dallas Hart, the very suspects in the murder case, the very individuals engaged in a long history of the most vulgar crimes against children, putting other children in danger because they have Hart Childcare LLC. And he doesn't want to mention that. No, he wants to target the distinguished honor graduate, the Fort Bliss whistleblower soldier, Richard Halliday, who was trying to help children, becoming a whistleblower to the Child Protective Services, in communication. Look, anybody that is full of life does not hesitate to call the CPS, the FBI, Washington, D.C., the IG, 911. Anyone that wants life to be victorious, to succeed, calls 911 if there's trouble, right? If there's trouble. And that was Richard, full of life. So, um, Bob Moore's fake news. He's fake news. And he is, yeah, wow. Um, my mom told me, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. I don't know if I'm going to listen to her in this time. Bob Moore's fake news and a discredited individual. Totally. I don't know what El Paso Matters is doing with him or with Angela Kachurga. You mean they can't get they have a 501c3. They've got it made. And yet they risk it all? What's going on? You mean you can't tell me that there are good investigative journalists that could provide good, solid stories? I mean, you want to hear the news? You come to Team Find Richard Halliday. We give you solid stories with evidence backing it up, with telling you the truth about the Hart family and the affidavit, right? And there's other confessions and there's other materials that's out there. And what about with the Walmart mass shooting case? What about the recordings, the transcripts? You're telling me that an investigative journalist can't get that, but Team Find Richard Halliday can and does have it and is reporting what that indicates? It indicates that Joe Spencer is absolutely with Sam Madrano, with John Briggs, colluding together to form some kind of narrative to present to the public, to mislead the public, to absolutely stop. They call it delay. No, they want to stop the case from going forward. They don't want it to move an inch. And yet, our open records, our audio recordings prove that, and the records, the many records, including criminal records of the Hart family, prove that they are a danger to the world, a danger to Fort Bliss. No wonder Bliss has been called the death camp. The death camp. When you have such a family that has not been arrested yet for good, then you have a real breach in security. So where would that come from? Clem Coward? I don't know. I don't think it comes from Clem Coward. I think it's the Garrett family. I mean, just 2 weeks ago, maybe I just inquired, hey, how do you know Karen Chavez Garrett? Just asked a simple question. How do you know Karen Chavez Garrett and her husband, Thomas Troy Garrett? How do you know them? How are you involved in them? You would not have believed the response that I got. The response was, it was like, really? Wow. Wow. Absolute, like even self admitted panic. So the Garrett family creates a panic? A panic? And, it's no secret that Michael Xavier Garrett was not only Vanessa Guillen's Force general, it was Vanessa Guillen's general, and also Richard's general, also Glennon Oakley Jr.'s general. Fort Bliss is called a death camp. Hundreds of thousands of children trafficked through Fort Bliss and unaccompanied, let's just put a mark on their chest, put some numbers, alpha numerical numbers on their chest, or maybe on their t-shirt, their clothes, or whatever. We're going to traffic them out. And then just recently, there's this man in California that's here illegally with these tactical move storage units. How did he get them? Full of military gear, full of United States military uniforms, full of military grade weapons, full of ammunition, full of what else? What else was in there? We know from The Sound of Freedom, they use those tactical move storage units to traffic children, to put children in. And he was arrested right when all of that happened with South Korea, right? With President Un. Now, they're on their third. I think they're on their third. It's just chaotic, totally chaotic right now in South Korea. But this man that had these tactical move storage units trying to send our military supplies and weapons and ammunition and what else was in there to North Korea. Yeah. This can't happen unless you have a Force general up to no good. Unless you have a Garrett family up to no good. Unless you have a Hart family up to no good and protected, right? But maybe not. Maybe not, because we're getting more and more information. And maybe that's why the retaliation, during Christmas, retaliation for what we have revealed. It's clear, it's more than clear, it's obvious that Fort Bliss has been committing a criminal network, like a El Paso cartel network on Fort Bliss. I mean, we've confirmed connected, that Richard's unit is connected to the Walmart mass shooting case. And you look at the pictures of Richard, and you look at the family pictures of Richard, you look at his history, not the history they want you, when he's being retaliated against and he's getting framed, and then they're, uh, you know, uh, trying to form a narrative to make everyone believe that he's someone that he absolutely is not, was not, will never be, without telling you that he was the two-time distinguished honor graduate, that he was a guidon bearer, that he was a whistleblower, the whistleblower, not only uh, for the children, but also with the Walmart case and before the Walmart case. And that the Walmart shooting, we believe we have the evidence that confirms that it was a distraction from the audits and the investigations going on in 2019 because of Richard's communications, reporting whistleblower reports with Washington, D.C., with the FBI, with the IG. The IG were all over the barracks because of Halliday. And these twisted narratives by a discredited Bob Moore in a desperate plea, so desperate that he uses Dallas Hart as his source. You mean the Dallas Hart that is the son of Leilani Hart and the son of James Courtney Hart, that Leilani Hart says are engaged in the most, I just vulgar sexual activity within their own family, putting children at risk, not only at risk, I mean, absolutely endangering children, proven endangering children. And Richard saying, Mom, it's so bad. It's so bad. How do you describe the Hart family? It's so bad. They're so bad. Yeah. So I think, and how do you describe the Garrett family? I mean, all you have to do is say, how do you know Karen Chavez Garrett? And people freak out. It's very bad. It's very bad. So, and it's sad that senior officers want to early retire, want to just get out because of the truth. Of the truth. They know they have Richard's remains. We want Richard's remains. And the real law is coming. The real law is our Constitution, is the Texas Constitution. Thank God this happened in Texas, because Texas doesn't fool around. Texas has the death penalty, and now President Trump, his transition team, absolutely is saying that they are absolutely looking at the death penalty for this kind of criminality. Well, it's treason. It's absolutely treason. All of this breach in security, all of this cover up, all of the for a criminal network in connection with the cartel that they've become the cartel. I call them the El Paso cartel. And connected to what kind of foreign countries? Who are they serving? When you have a person here in this country illegally sending storage units, moving units, tactical move storage units full of military Was it stolen? Well, we know it was from Texas to North Korea. Is that a gateway? Uh, all of that, um, all of that is coming out, and you can have so much money and you can have so much support, but then you have this: for unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. This is from the most humble situations. You, when you are reading the Magnificat, our evening prayer reads the Magnificat, so every night, if you're faithful, you read the Magnificat. And the Magnificat is all about how God raises the humble, those that love Him, those that are meek. Meek not being weak. It's kind of like the word comfort. We have it in our mind that the word comfort means, lounging around at your leisure on your couch but that's not the word comfort. Comfort means forte, to become strong, to become stronger. It's a participle, right? It's strengthening up. That's what that word comfort means. And, so you're coming from a faith that you might not see, a belief that you might not see, but that you know. That you know. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end. Upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it. That's where we come in. That's where we come in. We can't, knowing every day it was like, Rob, what's going on? We're getting evidence. We're getting evidence every day. Every day it's coming in. Every day we're learning more and more and more. We got to keep going. We got to keep going, and we have to share this with the world. Oh, we get audios. Okay, we're going to share the transcripts. Oh, we get open records. Okay, we're going to share that John Briggs was absolutely colluding with Sam Madrano, the judge on the Walmart case, and Joe Spencer, the defense attorney, and here John Briggs on the prosecuting team are colluding, scheming to form, lies, fabrications to stop the case, but to have an open checkbook and make millions of dollars doing it. It's a disgust. And, so we have to establish God's judgment, God's justice, and for henceforth, even forever, the zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this. The stars in their course fought against Sisera. So here we are, a little Gold Star family, absolutely under all kinds of retaliation, traumatization, harassment, threats, just about the whole time, right? Especially starting January 2023. So the last 2 years, definitely. Before that too, right? Before that too. Because of the the asymmetric warfare tactics. Don't forget about Josh Lyons. Don't forget about Josh Lyons, and he's the one that reminded me to ask about Karen Chavez Garrett. Don't forget about our casualty affairs. I think we're on our fifth casualty affairs officer. This he was our first. He was our first, and caught him up to no good against us. What did we do? We just want to know where our son is. That was in 2020, 20 in the beginning of 2021. And that's an interesting time, doing a lot of searches on Fort Bliss, a lot of searches, a lot of information, even from Nadal Bayim, that they found Richard's remains. Partial. So, the the DOD and the Board of Inquiry, they don't pin you a gold star family easily. They have his remains. And the receipts that we received absolutely declare that Richard was murdered on Fort Bliss. So, they can try to twist it. There was a really good comment today. I really appreciated it. You know, I hope get the truth out. Help get the truth out. That's what Bob Moore should be doing. Yet he's violating everything in the ethics. He's using Dallas Hart he's using the Hart family as his unreliable sources. It's very bad. So yeah, I think that tells us a lot. And you know what they did to Richard, they will, that's their mode of operatus or whatever you call it, where they bully. Look at what they did to Glennon Oakley Jr. They immediately got their criminal group together and ganged up on him. It was just, when you go and research that a little bit, it is so heartbreaking. It's so criminal. He was just so beautiful on that day, August 3rd, 2019, where, which happens to be Dallas Hart's birthday. Um, witnessing about these security guards dressed in black in the mall and shots heard in the mall the day of the Walmart mass shooting. He was a witness to that. He told that to Wolf Blitzer. And, he said that, and he was so beautiful. I'm a soldier, and, I really, I didn't save as many kids as I wanted to, but I tried. I grabbed as many as I could. And I mean, he was just a beautiful, beautiful man. And they went after him. The same thing with Richard. I know for 100% how beautiful Richard is. And, I've been trying to share as many pictures as I can. Uh, what a beautiful pianist. What a beautiful uh, a karate expert. What a beautiful soldier, distinguished honor graduate. Beautiful on a horse. Oh, you should have seen him. You should have seen him. We were in Ireland and he got on that horse and I was like, "What? Give me a camera quick." I have to find I don't think I had a camera. We were down at in County Cork. Um oh my gosh, he was so beautiful and that was such a beautiful day. And he rode it like he was born on it. Um Beautiful. And the TikTok, that you can't see right now. I need to put it up. I need to put the TikTok videos up that they took down. But all the people that were in basic training with Richard when he wrote the letter, what a beautiful person. He wrote a letter to his grandparents at basic training. Does Bob Moore report on that? Does he report on that? That we need to find this soldier. He loves his grandparents. He loves them so much that he wrote them a letter from basic training. So excited. And of course, because he was the number one graduate. And that's not because of all of his physical abilities, it was because of his character. He shined. Sparkly. He was sparkly. Does Bob Moore report on that? And the comments on from those that were in basic training, oh, he was so nice, oh, he was so sweet. And then, even from those in El Paso that met him, oh my gosh, he was so sweet. I can't believe this happened. That was Richard. And you don't see a a neutral position by Bob Moore. What you see is a biased reporting, a totally biased reporting and hateful reporting and a false witness, a total false witness, which is a violation of one of the 10 commandments. And the government and his government, which means the 10 commandments, and peace there shall be no end upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth ever, even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this. He's just discredited. He's in big trouble. He is in big trouble. Yeah. That's why I've been saying, confession is a cure of souls. Yeah, but and now with the Trump transition team seeking death penalty on federal cases, and then Texas, absolutely death penalty. And I used to say, oh, it needs to be on the table. No, they need to seek the death penalty in this for what they've done. It's treason. It's absolutely such evil criminality. Evil. Hundreds of thousands of children that have since been trafficked and now are mostly dead because they wanted to harass, silence, and murder the whistleblower and anyone else that got in their way. And the Hart family being involved in crimes against children, being involved in crimes against their own children, being involved in child pornography, being involved in criminal activity. And Dallas Hart was in uniform. Access to records, information, areas, training areas, like out in McGregor, White Sands, Red Rio Range, airports, jet ports, the border. It makes you want to throw up, doesn't it? When someone involved in that kind of vulgar activity is in uniform and is allowed to continue to have access and breach security. Because this whole case is about breach security. And and the Garrett family, then it it gets even bigger because it involves Fort Hood, which is Fort Cavazos now, with Vanessa Guillen, right? All this and others, because don't forget they found another soldier's remains when they were looking for Vanessa Guillen. And that was under FORSCOM General Michael Xavier Garrett. And what are his connections? Does it end with that? I mean, there's 44 four-star generals, right? At a time, I guess that's too many. It's too many. I think we had 7 during World War II, and we had 10 times more soldiers anyway. But that's a close group. Even if it's too many, it's not that many to be a close group. What are they doing? So, yeah, who was he reporting under or with? I mean, during that time. Okay, y'all. Please, thank you so much. We love you. Merry Christmas. Please share this. Please share it with everybody. And thank you so much for your patience and all of this. I know 4 years and more it's so long, and we just are very appreciative that you have been so patient, and we're working diligently to get more evidence, go through what we have, release, whatever that we can that will help move this case forward and cases forward, because Richard's case is absolutely intertwined with the Walmart case, through 3905 Bliss Avenue, through Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia and her family. But today is really letting everyone know. We want everyone to know that the Hart family is absolutely criminal, engaging in criminal activity that is just hurting the entire community. And that the Garrett family puts fear into people. Absolutely puts fear into people. So thank you so much. God bless you. And I will be back tomorrow. God will. Thank you, Martha, for coming on. I see that continued prayers. Thank you so much. And God bless you.